Here is another quick 9 playthrough here on the channel for you all. The date and the divisions, of course, shown on screen in the thumbnail. Remember to hit thumbs up and subscribe to the channel as well. Timestamps in the description down below, and remember the replays here are from old tournaments, so use the old ball attribute levels, which have now, of course, doubled. Hope you're enjoying Quick 9. Good luck, and remember to tweak according to your clubs and balls and wind angles. Here we go. So we're going to go with, in this wind angle, a little bit of topspin, no side spin at all, and we want to bounce on the middle part of that first island where the ground is at its highest, because then we're going to get a consistent bounce. If we bounce too far toward the tee, or indeed too far towards the end of that, you're going to be bouncing on a slope. So try and find a consistent spot. Add the spin. In here I've got a little bit of tailwind, so I'm leaving that ball guide a little bit short and also a smidgen to the right of the pin. But obviously this will vary depending on your wind angle. If you've got headwind, you want to be setting up with more topspin and the ball guide through the hole. 1-to-1 is the adjustment that is the same as mid plus 10 power 3 with sniper 10 numbers, so 7.1 in wind, going with 7.1 rings. Obviously, wind angle, wind strength going to have a factor as well, but this is the type of shot we want to be playing. Aim as best you can. We like the ball guide of the sniper, and the bounce over there gets us nicely for a hole-in-one. There is an aggressive route down the left-hand side, but you need a lot of distance and top spin. So in the majority of cases, I would play here on the right-hand side. 4.5 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left. If you have more top spin available and headwind angle, then obviously that will help a lot. So basically APOC 5 plus. But if not, crosswind and tailwind you can get over with a lower level extra mile. Adjust max plus 10. Here I'm pushing up as well. After I adjust, I push up 1 ring just to make sure I gain some distance on the drive, because I want to attempt an aggressive shot for the approach. Perfect ball away, and we want to approach the top left corner of the second piece of fairway. There you can see we're bouncing comfortably away from any of the rough, and the top spin takes us along here towards the top corner. Drive distance 372 yards. Second shot is all about getting the spin correct and trying to find a funnel. The more right you go from the pin, the more increasing your chances of finding the funnel. If you go straight at it, there seems to be less room for error, but you can see there's quite a wide section there where the tip of the ball guide doesn't really move. I can adjust kind of half a ring at least either side with my landing spot, and that ball guide isn't moving at all. So it's all about adding spin. We're going to need left spin regardless. Here, because the wind is pushing me left to right, I intentionally leave the ball guide to the left of the cup. This is something, once you know the tournament wind conditions, you're going to have to just take a token or two and dial in if you're creating shots yourself. But I'm playing true club distance, 10% elevation on this one. So TC on the notepad, true club plus 10. So have a look at your landing position plus yards if you can. If not, you're going to have to do a different distance check, but a good consistent drive will get you in plus yards for the rough bump, and it catches the slope very nicely and sneaks in for the albatross. Brilliant chance in all wind angles here, but with this crosswind and tailwind from left to right, we're going to play left side to leave us a near straight thorn. With the quarterback P6 max rest, we're going to add 3 left spin only, no top spin, no back spin. Red ring touching the rough. P6 max rest with QB 9 or 10. We're just 1-to-1, so 8.3 in wind is going to be 8.3 rings. If you have wind going the other direction, then I would therefore play on the right hand side so that you take advantage of a straight, more or less straight shot in terms of the wind angle for the pin. But here in this wind angle, we're going to play left side, 1 ball of curl to the left, and just before circle drop over power. We are hitting perfect here. Nice chance with the quarterback, very accurate club. Bouncing on the fairway, just missing the rough and rolling out for drive distance around 316 yards. Second shot from here, we are going to add 2 bars of backspin. Now, if you hit a great right, you will be near it. You will need more backspin, but try and add 2, and then find your minimum distance line and count rings from min until you have the ball guide, or the tip of the ball guide, going to the front of the cup. Here I push up 4 rings from min. If you are only 3 rings up from min, you may not have room to adjust. So I would suggest then you would add more backspin. But here it's 1% slider per ring from min. So we're playing 4% slider, 5% elevation, and this one we pull over the bullseye, centre the ball and hit perfect, and there's a very good chance to grab your eagle here on this par 4. Before spin on this par 3, have the left edge of the red ring touching the rough with the white ring touching the bunker at the same time before spin. Then we add spin to have the ball guide offset as shown. It's going to be 2 green squares before the hole, and there you can see the tip of it pointing to the edge of that light green square column. So try and replicate that position in this wind angle. Adjustment here nice and simple, 1 to 1, so 8 rings for 8 miles per hour in wind. And we can see there using the edge of the ball to line up on the take shot button, pulling to the outer edge of the blue ring, gives me my 8 rings, centering the ball, and subject to any wind angle tweaks, hit perfect, and you have a very good chance to drop this one for the hole in one, which is what we do here with this rough bump. In tailwind, we're going with top spin and right spin, and I would recommend you play for the furthermost island in the lake. You can go down the right hand side, but the trees are going to be in the way, and really we want a nice easy eagle. So stretching out to find my position, I've added my spin. I like the Titan here, it gives me an extra bit of wind push if you're playing in pro. In expert, you probably want to keep the wind between 7 and 9, so I'd go with a Kingmaker. Max plus 10, then I'm going to push up 2.5 rings based on what I was stretching out to find my landing spot. And I'm going with half wall curl to the right just to bring myself in nicely towards the green. We bounce comfortably on the middle of the pad or thereabouts, not risking the edges of the water, and we are getting almost to the fringe for a very easy chip. You've got headwind though, you can still make it to the green. You will need a driver with topspin. In my instance here, it's going to be Thor's Hammer level 6. You could use the big topper if you've got a lower count, but I would recommend you go with a higher powered ball. Otherwise, you will need overpower, and it's never good to be overpowering the big topper. So adding spin, bouncing on the edge of the middle pad, once again adjusting max plus 10, takes me into overpower, so I'm going to add 1 or 2 rings on to what I'm adjusting into, depending on my club, because we also adjust down to a lower point. So make sure you've got enough overpower on this one. 3 rings, still going to be fine to hit perfect. Minor great left, minor great right, both fine with this club. And the topspin takes us very nicely, comfortably into wedge range. So we've got to get an eagle, regardless of the wind. It's difficult to see where we're going to play at first here, but I've got a very nice route with a sneaky patch of fairway that isn't immediately obvious. I would suggest you go on the right-hand side, bounce over the small body of water. With 4.5 topspin, use the extra mile or the APOC or the Thor's Hammer, whichever gives you the distance, so that you don't need to overpower it. But you can still, of course, reach over without needing too much topspin. Max plus 10 is the adjustment on this one. If you've got more topspin with headwind, that will be useful, but we don't want to roll too far. This is all about reaching a specific point, or indeed an area, on the next fairway. And you'll see my drive distance come up on the screen in just a second. We're around 364 yards, and that's going to be absolutely fine. We want to play onto this narrow strip of fairway that is hidden amongst those beautifully coloured trees there with our sniper. So I'm adding backspin and left spin. If you're playing with a Kingmaker, you can go with 3 bars of left spin, which helps, but 2 will suffice if you want to keep with a Titan. And here I would recommend you play true club distance, 20% elevation in this crosswind angle. May need 10 or 15 in different wind angles, but the crosswind pushes the ball a fair amount. The good thing about this route is because we're using the wood club, the ball trajectory is quite high, and you are not going to clip the tree unless you've gone badly wayward on your drive. So for the consistent drive, you can see I'm nowhere near the trees. I'm sailing over the top of them, not going to clip any leaves or branches, and we're just missing this to the left-hand side. So true club distance, 20% would be my recommendation on the approach. Another excellent opportunity to get on the green in one, and you are going to see some hole-in-ones on this one as well, I guarantee it. Going with a power 5 ball, 2.5 backspin, 2 bars left spin. You might need to vary the backspin amount depending on your wind angle and your wind strength. But I'm stretching out there to find my position, going with max distance of the extra mile level 8. APOC is good here as well, of course. I'm adjusting max and I'm adjusting 10% elevation, pushing the rings because otherwise the trees will be in the way. Pushing back up and then going with a 3/4 ball curl to the left. This shot will be difficult in headwind, so you might need to lay up on the left-hand side of the map and approach from a little bit more distance. But any form of tailwind and maybe even crosswind with overpower, you can get on the green here, and we want to be putting for the eagle and maybe getting that lucky hole-in-one. Final par 5 now, and first of all in crosswind with a slight tailwind, I investigate the left side here, which is where I'm playing in rookie, with 4.5 top spin and 1 bar left spin, but even then I'm going to need considerable overpower. So perhaps in tailwind that is a route to investigate, but if you've got crosswind predominantly or any headwind, I'm going to play over here towards the bunker on the right. And the good thing about this route is you can use the rock, which is good for ball guide and accuracy, because you want a bit of ball guide here. This slopes downhill, so don't go too giddy with the top spin. In the end, I go with just less than 1 bar here, and it is just about okay. Obviously, rock level 8 and 9 will help you in headwind. If not, you're going to have to switch and go with the distance driver. But you can still always find your initial position with the rock, so you use the full ball guide. Max plus 10, and then we're going with the shot as shown. Topspin takes us nicely down the slope, and you can see it gathers a bit of pace there, but parks up just before the rough. 340 yards around there. Going to be absolutely fine. Now, if we get to that distance, you've got a shot with the sniper, which is always good for increasing your chances of dropping a shot from distance with a wood club, because we want the ball guide. Here, I would recommend you play 25% elevation true club distance. So look at the plus yards. We've got a tutorial about min, mid and max and using the slider. That will help you dial in your adjustments here. In the video, I played with 20% elevation, and you will see it's just a little bit under adjusted. So in this wind angle, I just say another 5% on the shot would have probably got me in. Using the plus yards, finding out my club distance, setting slider accordingly. TC on the notepad, it means true club distance. Perfect ball away, and we bounce nicely on the fairway. The spin grabs. Lovely speed on this one, but just look at that, curves away at the end. So a little bit more on the adjust, we'd got the albatross. And this one is going to be tricky from the second tee. It's a lot easier from rookie division due to the angle. Going to play with between 4 and 5 backspin with the Grizzly and a load of side spin to the left. Kingmaker is going to be needed here, really, because that bunker is very inconveniently placed right in the way of the green, where we would normally want to bounce. Setting spins as shown, and the adjustment here is mid distance plus 25 elevation, mid plus 25. Might need to rethink this approach if having headwind. It's going to be one of those where there's going to be a few ways to play this depending what clubs and spins and shots you want to play. But here is a very nice hole-in-one in this wind angle. The backspin grabs and we hit the pin, and it drops for the hole-in-one to finish on hole number 9. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.